Hey guys, it's Chris. I'm just posting another update on the wonderful world of FLSUN Q5. As you can see, I am printing something. It's like a little lockbox. It looked pretty cool. I got it off Thingiverse, but I can tell I'm probably gonna have a problem because for some reason, see, this is called skirting. It's no big deal. The FLSUN just does it to get rid of like crap in the line stuff. But these are probably going to be a problem because, from my experience, um, supports like this, where it's really thin, if you see this little guy right here, as the 3D printer nozzle hits it to, put more filament on it, it's going to cause it to wobble back and forth and possibly break. So, usually, if it requires supports like this, I do what's called a brim, which is it prints a couple layers and then it prints the support. Like it prints like this, and then the support's in the middle of it, which helps stabilize it a little bit. This is just some trash filament that I have here, some just kind of cheap stuff. So I'm gonna let it go and just see maybe if it will print right. But you can see here, this is why I call it trash filament. The filament, it wasn't wound properly. And, I keep winding it, but it just wants to tangle up. So, trash filament. And it wasn't too expensive. I think this was like 15 bucks or something on Amazon for a 1 kilogram or 2.2 pound roll. Also, the one thing I did forget to mention in my last episode, show, I don't know, whatever, is the filament, they recommend not to store it in an incredibly humid place, but you don't want totally dry, like 0%, or else it'll just become brittle, and that's no good either. So it is actually really dry in this room. I'll post a picture of where I have my filament stored, and you can also see those tush rollers that I mentioned in the last episode. But it seems to work for me. It hovers around the 22-25% humidity mark, which, yeah, it's very dry. But also, thanks Outlook. When your 3D print is done, I forgot to mention this. This is really important. When it is done, you will want to wait until this bed cools to room temperature. Right now the bed is at 60 degrees Celsius, which is 140 degrees Fahrenheit. You will want it to cool to room temperature, which I think my room temperature is right around 74 degrees Fahrenheit, which is I think around 22-24 degrees Celsius. You'll want to do that before breaking it off, and it only takes like 15 minutes, half an hour to cool down, and it'll save you a whole lot of heartache if you printed a big structure. There's this site called Tinkercad, and it is super simple. You can create stuff in there. You can import STLs. There's a couple criteria, like it can't have too many vertices and it can't be too large, but you can import STL files like that you get from Thingiverse, and you can modify them. But the website is tinkercad.com. I really recommend going through the tutorial. It should only take you like 15-20 minutes, something like that. But it actually really, it doesn't seem like it when you're doing it, but it really teaches you. And if you see there, it's, yeah, starting to fail already. It really teaches you the basis of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the print. It's going to move the head over there. I'm going to take the handy dandy snippers and just snip off this stuff. Whoops. Yeah, that's why I should have had brimming. Well, that one went flying. Alright, so I think I'm actually just going to cancel this. And, a little drool here. And just scrape this stuff off. See? It's it's not hard. Woo, that guy was flying. It's not hardened yet, so it's just peeling up, and I find that this plastic scraper works a whole lot better than this metal one that came with it, because the blade is so much thinner on this plastic scraper. So if you haven't noticed, I'm using an old dot matrix printer table to have my 3D printer on. And no, the irony is not lost to me. If you don't know what a dot matrix printer is, kids, ask your parents. It's I think actually they're still in use for like retail and stuff, because they are perfect NCR printers. And if you don't know what NCR is, don't worry, half the world doesn't either. So yeah, I'm just gonna start it over with brimming, and it's still warm, of course. So yeah, let's start over the brimming. Hey guys, just an update. I decided to print this with no supports because I did print it with brimming, but the brimming was curling up. So, YOLO. Usually this printer has no problems printing things at a 45-degree angle. So we will see how this goes. Like I mentioned, this is just kind of trash filament. And yeah, so as you can see, it did print a skirt around it, and that's just what I said, to get rid of all the crap in the filament and the unevenness. This was just some little drool that I had before it started printing. And right now the filament actually seems to be printing very, very nicely, so hopefully it'll continue.